you can set up a tiered structure for NTP. And the preferred approach is a pyramid structure, a pyramid scheme, if you will. It's really a hierarchical approach as opposed to flat and really where everybody is on the same level. I would go with the more scalable approach. And here's what that might look like. You get your time from the internet, maybe your ISP, maybe you do some research and find some trustworthy time servers out there that you can authenticate with, and you get your time. And you get that at the perimeter of your network. That becomes the top end of your pyramid structure, and then you disseminate that information to another layer, such as the core, if the core didn't get it, and then the distribution layer, and then the clients out there could be the access layer. And so let's see how that would work. Now, the distribution layer can service as both NTP servers and clients. So you can take on both roles and responsibilities. You can even also be a peer. You can even be a peer so that there's some baked-in resiliency to your structure. You can make the access layer switches peers if you want, or clients. Those would be the choices that I think would be most appropriate. Now, there's also the broadcast modality where you have server and client. Let me show you a little bit about it just so you get a little bit more comfort with that approach. Let's make an ASW2 a client, a broadcast client. I'll do show NTP status. Good, it's not enabled. And I'm going to make DSW1 a broadcast server. I just want to make sure that my interfaces are good. VLAN 800 is my management subnet. That's where I want the communication to happen. Good. So I'm going to go here and we'll say NTP broadcast, enter. That says you are going to be pumping out via the IP address 255.255.255. That's the broadcast address at layer 3. And now we got to have a client, right? Do show clock just to make sure we understand. It's the year 2032. That's just want a really striking year. Love working in the future. Show clock. So I still don't have a good clock. 1993. Went back in time. And then I'm going to go VLAN 800. And I'm going to say NTP broadcast. Make it a client. Let's see what happens. Might have to give this a little bit more time because it's a period-based broadcast. You're going to be broadcasting out. Do a show clock. Still 1993. When that changes to the year 2032, we know that we have gotten our broadcast and that things are good. I do just want to do one more thing here. I'm going to do a shutdown on this. A shutdown on that. I only want one of my SVIs enabled on this 2900. Good. I only want one of those SVIs enabled on a 2900. And then show NTP status. So right now we can see, and let's talk about this. The clock is unsynchronized. The stratum level is 16. We're definitely not getting time. We're also going to do show NTP associations. So I'm not getting time yet, but I will. So I walked away, and this is the results that we got. Great. So let's look at the status. So we can see that our reference is coming from DSW1. We are a broadcast client. And so this is just another way that we can configure NTP in our environment. Choose the approach that works best for you. And there are some good white papers if you really want to get involved. But, you know, the core structure relying on client and server and peers at certain layers, so that maybe the distribution layer services as a peer, access layers, service peer, that's a great way to go.